Hi guys, so there are a few physical setup you need to do for the quad. You can see that the frame is a very tight frame, so there's not much room for the antenna, even though the antenna is a small one. So I put the antenna at the back of the camera and run the wire above the video transmitter on the top frame, and then slide the antenna through the hole, and then tie the zip tie next to it, and then heat shrink that to the top of the frame. I also did the same thing with the VTX antenna. I tied a zip tie next to it, and then I heat shrink the antenna to the zip tie. The zip tie provides a kind of a cushion when it crashes. So I just leave it as the original length. I don't want to cut it because once you cut it, the zip tie may fall out when it crashes. You also notice that I put zip tie around the arms. The reason being that there are some loose wires towards the inner part of the arms. So I just want to zip tie that so that the loose wires will not flap around and accidentally get cut by the propellers. With the power cable, I also zip tie it to the back of the right arm so that it is more tight, and then when it get pulled, it doesn't pull on the flight control board. The battery strap that it comes with is very long. I think it is intended to be used with 4-cell battery. So if you have 3 cells battery, like I have in the video, then you're going to have a bit of a problem with the long straps. So that's why I also put a rubber band on the forearms just to secure the battery on the bottom of the quad. So that's all the minor physical setup that you need to do for this particular quad. So it's not really a con for this quad. It's just something that you have to do for every quad that you buy off in the internet as ready to fly or buy and fly quad. In terms of the components that it is supplied with, you have one set of props, and you have a set of screws for each of the props. Then you just put the props on the models, and then you can just screw them down. And the props are really durable. I crashed the quad quite a bit, and the props only got bent, and then you can bend it back very easily. The quad is very well built, so there's no problem with the quality of the frame, and it feels and looks very sturdy, so it should survive many crashes. But the only problem is that the camera is protruding out the front of the quad, so the camera may potentially be damaged in a head-on crash on the ground or in a tree. The camera itself is very good. It produces very nice, clear, contrasty pictures. So I have no problem with that. So if you have this type of camera, you're going to have a very good image on your goggles. The quad itself doesn't give out unnecessary heat like some of the smaller quads, so it doesn't get heat up that fast. So in that sense, it's good. Also, it doesn't seems to draw a lot of power or power hungry, so you're going to have quite a long flight with this quad, roughly around 3 to 5 minutes. It may be even longer because I usually restrict my flying to around 3.5 minutes. The PIDs is very different from the stock PIDs, so I think that they have actually tuned this quad, and they actually flown this quad in their factory, so it feels very nice and easy to handle quad when I was flying it line of sight and also FPV. This one actually comes with a warning card. It says that you don't simply change the better flight version because it may affect the quad itself, the performance of the quad. So I think That's a good warning card to give out on a particular quad, because I can see that a lot of people, when they get a new quad, they quickly update the firmware to the latest version. It is not always necessary to do that. You just keep it as the stock that it comes with, and you should have a good performing quad. So as you can see in the video, it flies really well. There's no problem with the flight characteristic, and it handles well. It's very smooth. It's very agile. When it's in angle mode, it's very stable. When it is in acro mode, it's also very easy to control. In terms of butterfly setup, it is quite easy to do also. Um, this one is a FreeSky receiver. So what I always do with my model is just copy and create the new model from an existing model, because they're all the same. You have the arm switch, you have the mode switch, and you have the beeper switch. So that's all you need. So I just copy and then rename the model. And then the next thing that you need to do is just bind the quad. It's just the usual press and hold the bind button and connect the battery. Then you bind the quad. Then every time you connect to Betterfly, make sure you calibrate the quad. The reason being that sometimes it comes very unbalanced. So if that's the case, you may not even be able to arm the quad. So make sure that you calibrate the quad. The next thing that you need to do is really the channel mapping of your transmitter. Just make sure that it corresponds to what you have set up in your transmitter. If you look at the Betterfly screen, if it's not properly mapped, then the quad on the screen will be turning very rapidly. So as soon as you correctly map the channels, then it will stabilize and it will just become stationary. So after that, next thing you do the mode. Just my usual one is just arm, angle, and acro. I don't usually fly A mode because I do crash quite a bit. So because if you put A mode, if you crash, then the motor keeps spinning, then you risk damaging your motors. I always want to do the setup for the minimum as maximum stick value. That's 1000 and 2000. So that should be easy to set up. I have other videos that you can watch to do the setup. So the only con that I can find with this quad is that there's no instructions and there's no pictures of the flight control board. So for somebody who's new to this hobby, or who doesn't have any clue of how to set up a quad, that becomes a problem. But never mind, I've done the appendix video for this review video. You can watch it to see how I set up the quad. Also, when you set up your Betterfly, don't worry too much about the PIDs and other settings there. All you need to do is just set up the mode, and then you can just go fly. And don't worry too much about some of the, flutter vibration. There is bound to be a little vibration, so don't worry about that too much. If there's too much vibration, that means the build is not very good. But with this one, the build is very solid. Even the camera is also screwed in very tightly, so it doesn't move. So all in all, with this quad, my criteria for a review is that is it a good build? The answer is yes. Are the components giving unnecessary heat? No. Do they supply enough parts for a bind and fly? Yes, they have the props, but of course, if they give you extra props and extra screws, that would be much better. But they give you one set of props, which is quite durable, so it's not a problem there. Does it beep too soon for the battery warning? No, it doesn't. Does it give short flight? No, it doesn't. It gives about 3 to 5 minutes of flight. Does it fly well? The answer is yes. So all in all, this quad is a very good quad. I can say that if you're just getting into this quad, you can buy this quad and use it as a reference quad for your future purchase as your base model, because this one performs really well, and you can use this as a sample. So what I can say finally is that I would recommend this quad. There's no problem, easy setup. If you guys like and enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Please remember, quadcopter is not rocket science. See you next time.